I'm so excited for this Tempest Trials because we get a great unit and some incredible sacred seals. The Tempest Trials Plus Familiar Faces arrives to complement our current Halloween banner. It should be out tonight, or it's already out if you're watching this video at a later date. Assuming rewards are the same as always, you can expect up to 42 orbs, 11,000 feathers, and 80 sacred coins for clearing the maximum 50,000 points. You're going to want all of those sacred coins. The blessing for this Tempest Trials is an Earth blessing for any teammates to go with Legendary Tiki if you got her. For Sacred Seals, we have an outstanding lineup this time, with the stat booster, speed and defense +2, darting stance, and brazen attack and resistance. This is a great showing. Now for our reward unit, you can get your hands on Halloween Dorcas, who is an axe wielding armor unit. Yep, another free armor unit, so definitely don't want to miss out on getting his 5-star reward. I'm so excited for these Sacred Seals because all of them are pretty great. Speed and Defense 2 just grants a flat +2 speed and defense, and honestly it's a solid skill. A great add-on for anyone who just wants a little extra speed and tankiness. Reminder that it only has one upgrade to get to its max tier, so you only need to spend 100 sacred coins versus 150 for the usual 2 upgrades. Now, where things get interesting is our second Sacred Seal. Darting Stance isn't that old of a skill yet, and I think it's still only from Shigure. While the stance skills are generally pretty good, Darting Stance gets mixed reviews because it really only shines on certain speed thresholds. If your unit is too slow, then +6 speed isn't going to save them, and they're better off with extra defense or res. Fast units who can themselves get natural follow-up attacks generally want a speed skill that works on the player phase too for initiations, and Darting Stance doesn't help in that regard. As an A skill, I just think there are better options to choose from. However, as a Sacred Seal, which can be switched around on any of your units, I think Darting Stance is a great skill. It's especially good on units who have an average speed stat, and +6 extra speed can go a long way in preventing follow-up attacks. It's definitely a skill that shines a lot brighter if you play to its strength. For example, give it to someone like Harden, who has 28 base speed. Pair Harden with a Hone Armor ally who grants him another +6 speed field buff, and now on the enemy phase at least, Harden will have 28 speed +6 speed plus another 6 speed for a total of 40 speed. On the player phase, it doesn't really matter since Harden has Bold Fighter, but now on the enemy phase, you have to deal with an armor unit reaching 40 speed. Just to naturally double him, you need 45 speed, and that's not easily reached by every single unit in the game. For Arena, I could see Darting Stance being able to trip up some players. Our last Sacred Seal is Brazen Attack and Resistance. This is pretty nuts. I did not expect to see a Brazen Sacred Seal so soon, but I am sure this is going to be a very popular one. For being under 80% HP, your unit gets +7 attack and res during combat. That effect can stack with field buffs and even more combat buffs. The obvious usage of this skill is to stack it with other Brazen skills. If you get 3 Brazen Attack skills, that's a total of +21 attack during combat once you get low on HP. The damage output potential is even higher than the hyped up double Brazen combos. Units to look out for include Alphonse, whose Folk Vanguard has Brazen Attack and Defense, as well as original Celica, whose Ragnarok got Brazen Attack and Speed. Now Alphonse can't run triple Brazen with Desperation and Brash Assault, but there are still things like Vantage that he can abuse. A Vantage hit with an extra +21 attack is just insane, and that's just for the attack stat. In the future, if we get Brazen Defense and Res as a Sacred Seal, and then someone with a weapon with the same skill, it could be crazy to run triple Brazen Defense and Resistance, a +21 Defense and Res combat buff. So as you can see, I am very hyped for the Brazen Sacred Seals and even the Stance Sacred Seals. If they are giving us stance skills, does that mean we could see their offensive counterparts like Death Blow? What about the Breath A skills, even though I think that would be a very bad thing to introduce. As for more Brazen Sacred Seals, I think Brazen Attack and Res is probably the most tame one they could have chosen. Brazen Attack and Defense, or Attack and Speed, or Defense and Resistance would be very interesting. Really glad to see these new seals, and I'll definitely be spending some sacred coins on upgrades. Continuing the hype, we have Halloween Dorcas, who just looks amazing as usual. As a free axe army unit, I think he is insanely good to get if you're a newer player, and well, what's one more army unit at this point? For his 5-star stats, Dorcas comes with 49 HP, 41 attack, 25 speed, 37 defense, and 21 resistance. His 41 base attack is the highest neutral base attack stat in the whole game, and that is impressive for a reward unit. 49 HP and 37 defense makes him pretty beefy on the physical side of things, and 25 speed isn't that bad, but paired with 21 res, magical attacks are definitely his weakness. For skills, Dorcas comes with the Hack-O Lantern Plus, and it's an inheritable axe weapon. It follows in the footsteps of the other Halloween inheritable weapons and has the guard effect on it. This is pretty interesting because we haven't gotten a lot of melee weapons with good skills tacked on. Guard works really well on defensive units, and Guard plus Quick Riposte is quite the strong combo. Having Guard in the weapon slot frees up your B skill, and remember that the Guard effect on these weapons are way stronger than the actual B skill version because they have no HP requirement. That is really good, especially if a unit is getting low on HP and you really need to block the attacker from proccing their specials. I think Hack-O-Lantern can see a wide variety of usage, but with only 2 copies of Halloween Dorcas, I don't know if most people are going to sacrifice both of them. As a last reminder, Guard cannot stack, so don't try to run the Hack-O-Lantern Plus with the actual Guard B skill or something like Special Fighter. Going back to the rest of Dorcas' base kit, he has Swap, which is a fine assist skill for an army unit. His A skill is Sturdy Stance, and it is fully available at 4 stars, which is great. Sturdy Stance grants +4 attack and defense when defending, and the only other unit with it is Legendary Ephraim. To finish off his base kit, Dorcas has Worry Fighter, and that paired with the Hack-O-Lantern with Guard is going to make him incredibly annoying to face. You can't attack twice, and you can't charge your special. Dorcas doesn't have a super high res stat, so magic damage should be your main weapon against him to knock him below 50% HP. So this Tempest Trials is very exciting, at least to me. Very interesting Sacred Seals in Darting Stance and Brazen Atk and Brez. If you enjoy the Brazen skills, then it's a clear winner to upgrade with Sacred Coins. In future Tempest Trials, it's now probable that we'll see other Stance skills and Brazen skills. They will probably be spread out, but man, these are great options. As for Halloween Dorcas, a free Axe army unit with a Guard weapon. Not much else to say. He is in a very saturated group for army units, especially when you have to compete with Hector, the other Hector, and that third Hector too. You've got Brave Ephraim, Amelia, Winter Crom, and Lissa, and of course the big bad male Grima, who isn't an Axe user but a popular green armored dragon. Sheena is the only 3 to 4 star Axe armor unit, and compared to Dorcas, she basically focused more on her resistance while Dorcas went all in on attack. For really new players, you definitely want to get this man, since army units are just so strong at the moment. For those who don't need another Axe army unit, the Hack-O-Lantern is definitely worth getting. Any defensive units can now have a powered up version of Guard and still run Quick Riposte or other B skills. This weapon may fly under the radar, but I think it has really great potential. That's it for this Tempest Trials. I'm super excited to start farming it, especially because I need those orbs. I hope you all go get those Sacred Seals and Dorcas, and I'll see you in the next video.